Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris, man. As always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. I'm going to entitle this video a comment from one of my subscriber, Brooks. I did a video just yesterday called Helpful Tips. And what the video entailed was, what sparked the video, my comment was, I did a cover of something, and you know, being a professional musician, studio musician, people that are not and not musicians, they don't understand that we keep it uniform, meaning that we have a structure. You know, we're not all over the place for many reasons. And the majority of the stuff that I listen to is quite uniform. And there's some stuff that's kind of all over the place. And it's kind of different when, say, for instance, if for instance, the drums in a specific song is all over the place. You come to find out that the recording artist is the drummer, you know, like Narada Michael Walden. I'm like, okay, well, his name is on the marquee. But when your name is not on the marquee, unless, again, the song was specifically written for you to showcase your talent, like George Duke reached forward, that tremendous bass playing, you know, in that song, it was written to showcase this. But when it's just a regular song and the main person or focus is the vocalist, and the music is the backdrop, you don't supposed to be all over the place, you know. So there was this one song, and I'm not even gonna mention the name of the song. I kept it uniform, even though there were some parts in there in the backdrop that were kind of all over the place. And this guy said, you did a good job, but I was expecting you to do all that other stuff. That's a personal riff. That's a personal statement. You know, when, again, you become a well-caliber musician, you understand what's going on and decipher, instead of, I don't know how to do this, I'm just kind of doing it. You know, it's all over the place. I'm going to try to be all over the place with it, you know. But anyway, this video is not about that video. I just said this video for that one. And one of my subscribers, Brooks, I'm going to read his comment because I'm like, I totally agree, man. So his comment reads, I concur. It kills me when people think that you need to play exactly like someone else. Bass means just that, basic. Laying down the bottom end, keeping the low end, not utilizing the bass as a lead instrument. You want to be all over the place, pick up the lead guitar. I totally agree, man. Because, and I know nothing stays the same, you know, and it's like, for me, when it's not broke, why are we trying to fix it? Why don't we try to fix something that is broke? You know, let's take our energy and put it in that direction, you know. But this is just my opinion. All this 5, 6, 7, 8 string bass, it's like, you know, the guitar players have this running joke. What do you call a bass player that got more than 4 strings? A guitar player. Exactly. You know, each instrument has its place within the structure of music or a song. And the bass, like this gentleman said, it's to hold down the low end. You know, it's not to be playing lead solos along. Because I hear this and I'm like, well, if you're doing this now, who's holding down the bass end? You know, who's minding the store? If you all on your knees and all that stuff. And, you know, of course, there was called a solo in the song, meaning that, okay, like, you know, the Brothers Johnson, you know, they cut Lewis loose for his solo. So many bars in the song, he does his thing, like in Stomp, you know. But it's like, you don't take that type of feel and play throughout the entire song, again, unless this song was specifically written for you to do that, you know. Because I find this interesting, and I didn't notice this until recently. I had a few people that wanted me to do some bass tabs, so they sent me some songs to look at. And I'm listening to these songs, and I'm, you know, listening to the bass part because that's what they want me to tabulate for them. And I'm like, this dude is all over the place. You know, it's like, it would be almost, I won't say impossible, but it'd take me several hours to sit here and try to mimic him note for note. You know, I'm like, he's giving too much. And what I tend to realize now, because I guess things don't stay the same, you know, that a lot of the players that I hear today, they were not trained formally as far as studio musicians, because, again, there's a format to how we do it. You know, I'll give you a good example. I just did a Luther Vandross song called Promise Me, and I believe Marcus Miller is on the bass. And I'm listening to it. I'm like, okay, this is not difficult to do. It's extremely uniform. He's not adding a whole bunch of notes that I got to try to figure out in ghost notes and fills. He kept it uniform. You know, the structure was made sense. It was set up structurally, you know, where, you know, this is how it's supposed to be. Instead of like an Al Green song, you in the middle of something, and then he do something different. You know, it's like, okay, the chorus is supposed to be coming up right here in 99.9% of every song. But, you know, with Al Green stuff, it's like, you waiting, okay, you about to jump into the chorus. No, you're not. He about to give you some more extra added stuff. You know, so there is a structure. But I'm noticing now that a lot of the players don't realize that. They're just playing. And that's when the musical director come in that I don't even think exists anymore. And he gives you, you know, chart out your stuff. You know, I think now they just let guys go in the studio and just come up with something. You know, and it's like, from a musician standpoint, they're good caliber players. But when it comes to understanding structure and format, they totally lost. And I had to tell some of my clients, I'm like, I can't do this. I'll be here 4 hours for this. And you can't afford me for 4 hours. You know, and trust me, you don't want to start learning like this where you come in and just supposed to do your part and you doing too much. And nobody's around to tell you because they don't know. You know, there's nobody that's in the studio that's a professionally primed, formally trained player or musician or director. They just sing guys in and they just play, not realizing that there's a structure to what we do. You know, because again, I just realized that recently when I had a gentleman send me all these songs. I'm like, I can't do this, man, because they all over the place. You know, when you come around a certain point of a song, again, you're supposed to be doing the same thing, not something totally different. And then the next time around, you're supposed to be doing what you're supposed to do the first time. You're doing something totally different the third time. You know, again, this stems from a lot of self-taught, not formally trained players. And the people that are formally trained players can hear that, you know. But I just thought I would post a video, you know, just, you know, mentioning this comment because I'm like, I totally agree, man. The bass player is supposed to be holding down the bottom end, not up there with the lead player and playing 5, 6, 7, 8 strings, you know. But that's just Morris man's opinion. That's all it is. I should have said what I'm about to say now at the beginning of this video because you're gonna notice that the comment option is disabled right now, and that's because lately I've been getting a lot of robotic troll stuff. You know, I look up and I see all this garbage comments on there on my channel on specific videos, and I got to remove it because I'm one of them people. I want to keep my channel up to par and clean. You know, not having people leave or robots leaving ridiculous comments, Dateline, and all this other sexual stuff. And I hope that YouTube get a handle on that because it's really getting out of control. I had to remove about 7 of them yesterday off one video, the video called Helpful Tips. And I'm like, this is kind of getting ridiculous. And I'm hoping that, again, YouTube will get a handle on this. And I'm sorry that I'm going to have to disable this because this is an interactive channel. But for, you know, from time to time, I have to do that to discourage these people that are behind these robotic message sending garbage nonsense. You know, it's just really ridiculous that every now and then something keeps coming up that shouldn't be there. You know, and you like to just take a baseball bat and crush all these people's heads that are doing this, that are cheating people, that are trolling people because they don't have nothing better else to do. And their life apparently is not fulfilling. So they decide they want to harass and bother other innocent people that got nothing to do with their jacked up life. You know, it's just ridiculous. But I'm going to sign off now. But pretty good comment. I totally agree, Brooks. You know, that if you want to be all over the place, pick up a lead guitar. You know, that's what that's for. As opposed to they expecting the bass player to, you know, do all this extra stuff and, you know, coming out of his element and coming out of kind of, you know, shifting away from a format. Because, again, when you really study song structure, you see the format. That's why I'm able to tab so many songs so quickly because there's a format. There's a structure. I just looking at the, you know, observe the structure and follow instead of I don't know what's coming up after these 4 bars. It's supposed to be the chorus, but it's going to be something else. Oh, here comes the chorus. A couple of bars kind of late, you know. But until next time, take care and thanks for watching.